dancing.
Dancing? It looks more like jumping up and down to me.
No, I'm dancing. Whoopee!
Doris, couldn't you dance a bit more quietly?
But I'm so happy, Doris, and you can't be happy quietly.
I can be happy quietly.
Not if you sing this song. Listen. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, and you really want to show it, if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. Woo! You see, being happy and noisy is the greatest!
Yes, it's terrific, isn't it?
Yes!
Let's shout hooray!
Oh, yes. If you're happy and you know it, shout hooray! Hooray! If you're happy and you know it, shout hooray! Hooray! If you're happy and you know it, and you really want to show it, if you're happy and you know it, shout hooray! Hooray! If you're happy and you know it, and you really want to show it, if you're happy and you know it, shout hooray! Hooray! Wasn't that fun? I'm going to dance all the way round Magic Mountain. If you're happy and you know it, dance around.
Morris, watch out for Leroy.
Oh!
Hey, Doris! Morris nearly knocked me off my roller skates.
Never mind, Leroy. Sit down and take the weight off your skates. Now, tell me, what have you been up to lately?
I will tell you. My latest story is called Leroy's Journey. Very early one morning, I arrived in the magic garden to wake up Digby and Spot. I whizzed into the garden shed on my roller skates. "Wakey, wakey, you two!" "You what?" said Spot. "Oh, my feet are tired after all the gardening I did yesterday," said Digby. "What you need is roller skates," I said. "Roller skates like mine." "Well, I wouldn't want roller skates like yours," said Digby. "Just listen to that horrible noise they're making." Digby was right. My roller skates were going squeak, squeak instead of whiz, whiz as they usually did. "Do you know where I can find some oil?" I said. Digby thought for a moment. "Well," he said, "there's an oil pond on the other side of Magic Mountain. Shall I show you the way?" "Yes, let's all go," I said. So Digby and Spot and I set off together. We walked and walked until we were high up on the very top of Magic Mountain. Far away on the other side, I could see what looked like a little town. "Now," said Digby, "the oil pond is somewhere very near here. Just keep on walking." So on we walked. Squeak, squeak went my skates. Suddenly, splash! I found myself up to my knees in a black, sticky puddle. "Oh, so you found it," said Digby. "Found what?" I said. "You what?" said Spot. "You found the oil. The pond's got all overgrown since I was here last, so none of us saw the oil pond until you stepped in it." Digby and Spot fell about laughing. I climbed out of the oil pond and was just about to tell Digby off for being a silly robot when I noticed something. My roller skates had stopped going squeak, squeak and started going whiz, whiz, just as they used to. "The oil works!" I cried. "Now I can really get moving. Come on, you two!" Soon we came across a little signpost. It said, "Tumbledown Town 5 miles." "That must be the town we saw from the top of the mountain," I said. "Let's go and have a closer look." "You what? Walk another 5 miles? No fear," said Spot. "Me neither," said Digby. "But let's all come back again soon and explore Tumbledown Town." "Yes, when we've all got roller skates like Leroy," said Spot. And we all set off home.
went to Tumbledown town once.
Did you, Doris? What was it like?
Well, there were some little round houses.
If you're happy and you know it, shout hooray!
I'll tell you later, Leroy. Now, Morris, you've got to stop making all that noise and be as quiet as a mouse.
Squeak, squeak, squeak!
Quieter than a mouse.
Why?
Because Carol's going to say a poem.
Are you, Carol?
Yes, it's got lots of animals in it. If you like, you can make your hands and arms into the animals I'm going to mention. Listen, the poem's called The Ostrich. Here is the ostrich, straight and tall, nodding his head above us all. Here is the hedgehog, prickly and small, rolling himself into a ball. Here is the spider scuttling around, treading so lightly on the ground. Here are the birds that fly so high, spreading their wings across the sky. Here are the children, fast asleep, and in the night the owls do peep. To wit, to woo, to wit, to woo.
Look, Doris, I'm being an owl. To-wit, to-woo.
You know, Morris, I bet you can be any animal you like, except a good, quiet little hamster.
I can be good and quiet.
Well, in that case, I've got a reward for you.
Oh, what is it, Doris?
Nigel's here, and he's going to tell us a lovely animal story.
Yes, it's called The Lion Who Couldn't Roar. Once there was a little lion who lived in the forest with his father and mother. When Father Lion roared, you could hear him all over the forest. And when Mother Lion roared, you could hear her all over the forest. But the little lion had just a little voice. "Never mind," said Mother Lion. "As you grow bigger, your voice will grow bigger too." But it didn't. One day, Uncle Lion came to visit. "And how are you, young fellow?" roared Uncle Lion.
Very well, thank you.
Said the lion in his little voice. "Bless my soul," said Uncle Lion. "What's the matter? Lost your voice?"
Not all of my voice,
said the little lion.
just my roar.
"High time you found it," said Uncle Lion. The little lion sat down and thought about what Uncle Lion had said. And when the grown-ups were busy talking, he went off into the forest by himself. He saw some monkeys playing in the branches of a tall tree.
Excuse me, please.
Said the little lion politely.
I've lost my voice. Not all of my voice, just my roar. Do you know where I might find it?
The monkeys laughed till they almost fell out of the tree. "Oh, look at the lion without a roar," they shouted. "Listen to his little voice." And they swung upside down and threw twigs and leaves at him.
I think you're very rude,
said the little lion in his little voice. And he went on through the forest till he found a pretty little green snake curled up on a rock.
Excuse me, please,
he said politely.
I've lost my voice. Not all of my voice, just my roar. Do you know where I might find it?
The little snake uncurled herself slowly.
Yes,
she said at last.
I think I know the very place where you might find your roar, but it's in a very dangerous part of the forest. I don't mind,
said the little lion bravely.
Follow me, then,
said the snake. And she slipped down from the rock and slid away so fast that the little lion had to run to keep up with her. Soon they came to a part of the forest where the lion had never been before. The trees were very tall and close together, so that it was quite dark.
This is the place,
Said the little snake, and away she slid.
Come back,
Said the little lion,
don't leave me alone here.
but the little green snake didn't come back.
Mother,
Said the little lion in his little voice.
Mother, I think I'm lost.
But of course Mother Lion couldn't hear him. The little lion sat down and looked around. It was very dark and very lonely, and he was very frightened. So he cried. And he howled. And he roared. And from far away in the forest, Mother Lion roared back. I'm here, my little son. I'm coming. The little green snake slid out from under the bushes where she'd been hiding all the time.
I'm sorry I scared you,
She said.
but I thought you'd find your roar if you ever really needed it.
And she disappeared again. Then the 3 big lions came bounding through the forest to where the little lion was. Father Lion hugged him, and Mother Lion kissed him, and Uncle Lion said, Bless my soul, with a roar like that, you should grow up to be the biggest lion in the forest. And they all went home together.
Doris! Doris, where are you?
Here I am, Leroy.
Oh, you know you said you'd been to Tumbledown Town?
Yes?
Well, can you tell me a bit more about it?
Of course I can. Morris and I went to Tumbledown Town once, and when we got back we made up a little song about it. Come on, Morris, let's sing it for Leroy.
On the other side of the mountain, where very few people have been, there's a little town called Tumbledown. It's the strangest place you've ever seen. Everything's almost falling down. The earth is green and the grass is brown. The houses are round and the towers are square, and the streets go winding, who knows where. There's a little town called Tumbledown. It's the strangest place you've ever seen. Hello, Doris.
Hello, Morris. You stopped dancing, I see.
Yes, it was making me ever so tired. I think I'll take up a musical instrument instead.
What? You mean learn the piano or something like that?
Well, perhaps not the piano, but I'm sure I could play a penny whistle or a pipe. That's easy for youngsters like me. Listen to the song.
What song?
It's Stephen's favourite.
Oh.
Over the hills and far away.
Tom, he was a piper's son. He learned to play when he was young, but all the tune that he could play was over the hills and far away. Over the hills and a great way off, the wind shall blow my top knot off. Tom with his pipe made such a noise that he pleased both the girls and the boys, who always stopped to hear him play. Over the hills and far away, over the hills and a great way off, the wind shall blow my top knot off.
Morris, whatever's the matter?
I can't learn to play the pipe. It's far too difficult with my clumsy paws.
Oh, there, never mind, Morris. Why don't you pretend to be an animal again? Anyone can make animal noises.
What animal shall I be?
How about a lion?
Woof, woof. No, that's not right. Oh, dear, I can't even roar like a lion.
Oh, now, Morris, stop that crying and listen to Carol's story. It's got lots of other animals in it.
The Musicians of Bremen. Near the town of Bremen in Germany, there's a small village, and in this village there lived a miller and his donkey. For many years the donkey had worked hard, carrying heavy sacks of corn to the mill. Now he was getting old and tired and could no longer carry them. He knew that his master would soon get rid of him, so he decided to run away. The donkey was fond of music, and so one fine day he set off to Bremen to join the town band. He had only gone a little way when he met an old dog sitting by the road. "Hello, dog. What's the matter with you?" the donkey asked. "I'm too old to hunt," replied the dog, "and my master doesn't want me any more, so I've run away." "Come with me to Bremen," said the donkey, "and join the town band. You could play the piano and I'll play the drums." "Why, yes," said the dog. "I love music." And the two new friends set off along the road to Bremen. Before long, they saw a cat washing her whiskers at the side of the road. "Hello, cat. You look sad," said the donkey.
Meow, I am sad, meowed the cat. I'm too slow to catch mice now, and my mistress wants to throw me out, so I've run away.
"Come with us to Bremen to join the town band," said the donkey. "You would be a fine trumpet player," said the dog.
Oh, yes, indeed I would, prrr,
purred the cat, and she smiled a happy smile. So the three friends set off along the road. Soon they came to a farmyard gate. On the gatepost sat a cockerel crowing loudly. "Hello, Feathers," said the donkey. "You are making a noise."
That's because I'm sad, said the cockerel. I often oversleep in the morning, so I don't wake up the farmer. It makes him so angry. I think he's going to eat me for Sunday lunch.
"Well, why not join us?" said the donkey, the dog and the cat. "We're going to Bremen to play in the town band. You could sing with us." The cockerel happily agreed, and the four friends set off along the road. Just then the donkey saw a little cottage in the forest. "Let's go and have a look," he said. "There might be some food there." The four animals crept up to the cottage window, and the donkey peered in. "I see a table covered with food," he whispered, "and 3 nasty-looking men. I think they must be the robbers of the forest." The four friends wanted that food very much, so they thought of an idea to frighten the robbers away. Very quietly, the dog climbed onto the donkey's back, the cat climbed onto the dog, and the cockerel perched on the cat. 1, 2, 3, said the donkey. He brayed, and the dog barked, and the cat meowed, and the cockerel crowed all together. What a noise they made! Suddenly, the donkey wobbled and lost his balance, and the four animals crashed through the window.
The robbers were so frightened they ran away into the forest. Then the animals ate the robbers' supper, and afterwards settled down to sleep. The donkey lay down outside the cottage. The dog settled behind the door. The cat curled up in front of the fire, and the cockerel flew onto the chimney pot. Meanwhile, in the forest, the robbers were feeling cold and sorry for themselves. "How stupid we were to run away," said one of them. "I'm going back to take a closer look." He crept up to the cottage. It was very quiet, so he climbed into the kitchen through the broken window. At once the cat woke up. She hissed and spat, and her yellow eyes glowed in the dark. The robber was terrified and rushed towards the door, but he fell over the dog, who jumped up and growled fiercely. The man rushed outside and collided with the donkey. Then the cockerel flew down, screeching and flapping round his head. The robber ran as fast as he could back to his friends. "Whatever happened?" they asked. "Oh, there's a witch in that house," he panted. "She hissed and spat at me, and a gnome tried to attack me, and I ran into a giant, and then a huge bat flapped round my head. Oh, I'm never going near that cottage again." So that night the 3 robbers packed up, and soon they had left the cottage far behind them. How the 4 friends laughed when they saw the robbers creeping away. "This is a very comfortable place," said the donkey. "Let's stay here." So they all lived happily together in the cottage, and they never did get to Bremen or join the town band.
Doris! Doris! Listen, I've learned to roar, just like the little lion in the story. Doris!
Hello, Morris.
Oh, hello, Stephen. Have you seen Doris? I want to show her how good I am at pretending to be a lion.
Well, by the time Carol and I have finished this rhyme, you'll have learnt how to be other animals, too.
Oh, goody. What sort of animals?
Listen.
Playing animals. We like playing animals. See how many you can be. Some are quiet and some are loud. Some for you and some for me.
If I lie down on the floor and quietly slide and writhe and shake with my arms and legs together, I become a slithery snake. If you stand up tall and strong and make believe each hand's a paw, show your teeth and take big steps, you can be a bear and roar.
If I bend my knees and crouch and put my paws beneath my chin, I can be a quiet mouse and grin a quiet mousy grin. If your mouth is open wide and if you go down on all fours, you'll be the loud and lordly lion. Just like the bear, he roars and roars.
If I put one arm in front and put the other one behind, to make a trunk and make a tail, an elephant is what I'll find.
If we both stand on our toes and wave our arms like pairs of wings, we can be a flock of birds.
Can you be these and other things?
Hey, Morris, what's big and red and goes da 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 da?
I don't know. A singing tomato?
No, a fire engine, silly. Da 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 is the sound of its siren when it's on its way to put out a fire.
Oh, I see.
Now, what's little and red and goes da 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 da? Nigel knows.
Yes, it's Pete the fire engine. Pete, the little fire engine, was all by himself in the fire station. The big fire engines had gone to put out a fire at a house on the other side of town. Pete wished he was with them. He imagined himself squirting water from his hose all over the flames and putting them out. Hiss, hiss, hiss. I'd love to do that, he thought. But the big fire engines always leave me behind because I'm so small. Just then, the other fire engines came home, their sirens blaring. Da-da, 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 da-da. Did you put out the fire? Asked Pete. Of course we did. It was easy, smiled Roger, the big shiny fire engine. One bright summer morning, all the fire engines woke suddenly as 2 firemen ran into the fire station. Quick, shouted one. We've got to rescue Mrs. Underwood's kitten. She's climbed up a tree and can't get down. Roger, this is a job for you." "Goodbye, Pete," said Roger, and he drove quickly out of the fire station, his siren blaring. Pete sighed a deep sigh. If only it could have been me." All morning, Pete waited in the fire station, wondering if he would ever be called out like the big fire engines. Suddenly, a fireman came sliding down the pole to where the fire engines were parked. "Quick, Pete," said the fireman. "They need you at Mrs. Underwood's. Roger is too big to get down the lane. You're just the right size." Pete couldn't believe it. His engine roared with excitement. The fireman jumped aboard, and together they zoomed out of the fire station. Pete screeched to a halt outside Mrs. Underwood's garden. There she was, looking anxiously up at a tree by the fence. And in the tree was a marmalade kitten, looking anxiously down at Mrs. Underwood. "Oh, thank goodness you're here," she cried. "The other fire engine was just too big. He couldn't get down the lane, and poor Topsy is getting so frightened." The fireman took Pete's ladder and put it against the tree. The fireman climbed slowly up, picked up Topsy in one arm, and brought her safely down. "Oh, thank you," said Mrs. Underwood. Topsy jumped from the fireman's arms onto Pete's bumper and licked him.
Thank you, Pete.
She purred loudly. Pete felt pleased with himself. "I can't wait to tell the other fire engines how useful I've been," he said. And with a high-pitched da-da-da-da-da-da, he drove off home to the fire station.
Doris, who is the noisiest person on Magic Mountain?
You are.
Well, apart from me.
Let me see. Well, Leroy's roller skates make a bit of a row.
No, it's not Leroy.
And Trevor the train's toot-toots are rather loud.
No, it's not Trevor.
I know who it is. It's Digby the gardener.
Yes, and his robot motor.
Yes.
Let's sing the song.
The Digby Ditty.
Hooray! Poor old Digby finds it very hard to talk. With his robot brain, it's quite a strain to do much more than walk. But when he's out in the garden with the plants and the flowers and trees, he likes a little chat about this and that, so he calls to the birds and bees. Bleep, bloop, blip, blop, blip, clink, clank, clunk. Whiz, whir, rattle and burr, tiddle-diddle-um and plunk. Bleep, bloop, blip, blop, blip, clink, clank, clunk. Whiz, whir, rattle and burr, tiddle-diddle-um and plunk. Blip, bloop, blip, blop, blip, clink, clank, clunk. Whiz, whir, rattle and burr, tiddle-diddle-um and plunk. Poor old Digby. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.